Back at it again with another video. Thank you all for watching. I greatly appreciate it. So, this is not really a video I want to make, but I feel like it's necessary to make because there's a lot of conflict going on in the world, and it feels like Ww3 has already started. Like, it's very there's just so much going on. Like, it's very, very interesting to see all these conflicts going on because how real the possibility is to escalate into a world war. So first, let's go to Google Maps. Obviously, there's conflict between Russia and Ukraine. The front line has remained pretty stagnant. It's about like right here. This is an approximate. It's been like that for a long time. It's been like that for the past like year and a half, maybe even 2 years. This is an approximate front line. But conflict going on between Russia, Ukraine. A while back there was tensions in Serbia and Kosovo, but then again, there's always tension there. There was conflict between Armenia and Azerbaijan over Nagorno-Karabakh. Armenia won those wars in the 1990s, early 2000s, but Azerbaijan was able to force out the Armenian population after the Azerbaijani victory in Nagorno-Karabakh. So there's been conflict in the Caucasus. Obviously, there's conflict. Israel, Hamas, Lebanon has been drawn in because of Hezbollah. There's been Syria has had resistance groups. Iraq resistance groups to Israel. The Houthis have gotten involved. If you understand the importance of Yemen, the shipping lanes from the Mediterranean through the Suez Canal, through the Red Sea, pass through this narrow strait here called the Bab el Mandab Strait, which at its narrowest point, it's only about 18, 19, 20 miles wide. Pretty narrow. And the Houthis have much of this part of Yemen under their control. So the shipping lanes between the Arabian Sea, through the Gulf of Aden, through the Red Sea, and they've gotten involved. Obviously, Saudi Arabia and Iran always don't like each other, but that's nothing new. Speaking of nothing new, there's always tension between Pakistan and India. There's always tension between China and India in the Himalayas. Conflict potentially between China and Taiwan, North Korea, South Korea. So I feel uneasy making this video because I don't want this to be accurate, but it's feeling like it's accurate, that Ww3 has already started. It has a bunch of local conflicts or regional conflicts that escalate or could escalate into a wider war. So let's look back at World War II for a second. So technically, the official date it started was September 1st, 1939. That was when Hitler invaded Poland. However, that was not the first, conflict within the wider conflict. If you look at, East Asia, if you look at Mediterranean, if you look at Africa, you'll see that there was conflict before September 1st, 1939. That was the official date when the UK and France declared war on Germany. 2 days later, September 3rd. But the Japanese and the Chinese have been fighting since 1935, 1936. There was included the start of the Second War, 1937. The Japanese invasion of Manchuria, that was 1931. The Italian invasion of That's Ethiopia, Abyssinia. That was 1935. There was obviously we have Ethiopia, the invasion of China, the Spanish Civil War. There was also the Munich Agreement, 1938. That was the issue of the Sudetenland. That's part of modern-day Czech Republic, but at the time it was Czechoslovakia, a predominantly ethnic German population, and basically appeased Hitler and told him you can have it. But that wasn't the first time that Hitler had done that. Hitler had annexed Austria in 1938, otherwise known as the Anschluss, or also known as the Anschluss Österreichs. That was the official annexation of the federal state of Austria into the German Reich, March of 38. So before World War II even started, the official date was 1939, September 1st. There was conflict before the actual global war precipitated and became the Second World War. And right now, with all these conflicts or potential conflicts around the world, obviously you have a war in Europe, you have a war in the Middle East, you have potential conflicts brewing in Asia. It feels eerily similar to the lead up to World War II. Like, we're living in very uncertain times. The war in Europe could escalate into a wider war. The war in the Middle East could escalate into a wider war. There's obviously conflict that could escalate in the Middle East, Saudi Arabia, the Indian subcontinent, East Asia between China and North Korea versus Japan, South Korea, Taiwan, United States. So it feels eerily similar. If you know your history, you'll understand that history oftentimes does not repeat itself, but it does rhyme. So I don't take comfort in this fact that I believe World War III has already started. However, I feel it's necessary to make this video because it feels eerily similar to the build-up to the Second World War. So with that being said, obviously that's a serious video. Sorry about the deep topic for today. Sorry about that, but I felt it necessary to make this video. With that being said, that's the end of the video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Deuces.